So now the trend is everybody's talking about America. That how America, the world leader, the most powerful country in the world, is beginning to crumble and fall. So I don't know how people see America falling just because they see all these news popping up that the country's in distress, there's shootings, people fighting over authority abusing people's rights. The government just don't see the people's grief, that the government is not doing enough to its own people to elevate them. So there's a lot of videos now saying that America is about to fall, and all these countries that America been bullied to, or America have bullied, are rejoicing to see the day when America is gonna fall. And it's been told many times way before others. When I was growing up, I always heard it, but I never knew what was the hype was all about. Because when I was small, I used to go to Grand Central Square, and there's always some black guys, what they call them brothers, the brothers. Everybody calls them brothers. But right when I was on, they always used to say, these are the white devils. These are the ones that are gonna destroy this country, the whole planet. But anyway, I never thought nothing about it, but these are not just Israelites. They call themselves the Black Israelites. And they've been saying it for a long time that this country is gonna pay for the past that their ancestors, their forefathers had did to other countries. And I don't know if that's a prophecy or not, because I'm not into that prophecy stuff, because wars come and go. Whether you predict it or not, a war will always break out between another nation or a country or a group of people or a race of people. There's always going to be conflict. But right now, the talk on YouTube is that America is about to fall. So if you look it up, there's a lot of videos out there talking and pinpointing that America is on the brink of collapsing. So I don't understand why is it that everybody points that America is collapsing while the whole world is in a pandemic and everybody's collapsing. It's not just one country that's going to collapse. The whole country is going to collapse. And if any country dares to threaten the United States is just not going to put its heads down and grieve. The United States is going to launch, I don't know what they will launch, but the United States just don't put their hands down, cross their hands and put their head on the table. That's just not going to happen. You know by history, if somebody threatens the United States, one day you're going to open out your curtain and you're going to see a beam of light coming directly at you. You know that it was a drone. And you're not going to like that. And also, it doesn't matter what happens, because all this is political. I've been telling people for a long time not to get distressed or get depressed, because this is all political warfare games. That's what they call it. It's a political warfare game. You're not going to understand it. That's how you act out and you blame other people. You know, I don't think the American people or whoever's doing it should be threatening these Asian people or beating them up or accusing them, because a typical person has nothing to do with the government way they do business with another nation. We have no control of that. We regular people that we work day or night, no matter what. We do our living and they do their government procedures. The way government is handled that got nothing to do with a regular civilian. They on a government level and we in a different level. We in the workers level. We have no government level. We have no knowledge of how the government is run. So if people are scared that a war might break out between a nation, particularly now with China, and China with the United States, but if you think about it, the world is so advanced than what happened to Japan, 100 years ago, with the atomic bomb when it was dropped at them. They dropped the atomic bomb because the United States didn't want to continue fighting the war. There was just not going to be a win-win situation between both nations. There was going to be more dead people than dropping the atomic bomb. So the United States took measures and dropped the atomic bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and to bring the Japanese leadership down, or else the war would have kept on fighting and more people. But now these days, if any nations were to threat another nation, doesn't matter if it's China, Japan, Russia, the United States, we have nuclear bombs now, more advanced than ever before, that if we release these nuclear bombs, your country, whether you like it or not, that you think it's gonna be America's gonna fall down to, no, you in it together. We all in one planet, and if those nuclear bombs will ever get released, it only would take, scientifically, it was proven that 100 nuclear bombs has the pressure of 3,000 square meters. So 100 nuclear bombs would destroy the entire planet completely. So if every nation has 100 nuclear bombs in each country, it only takes 100 of them. Imagine two nations fighting each other. It's gonna be more than 100 nuclear bombs. This country will be destroyed instantly, automatically, and there's nothing in the world that you can do to stop this. So when you see these governments fighting with each other, they're not as dumb as you think, that they're gonna create a war within each other with nuclear bombs. That's the last thing they want to do. Everybody's fighting and all that, but certain people shouldn't be in politics because they don't understand politics. And I don't know about politics myself, but I'm definitely sure that no country wants to risk, just on words, have a nuclear strike, a war strike with these bombs. Because we won't be talking and speaking as we're doing now. And this coronavirus thing, it's just a biological warfare. I'm sure that it could be controlled, but not as quick. But I'm sure they have the antidotes or whatever's there, the measures to control it. It's probably, like the theory says, we overpopulated and they want to control the population. It's a lot of theories, but I told this older person once, she told me that she was scared, she was afraid, because our leaders are causing trouble with other countries, and these countries are not like before. It's not like there was 50 years ago, 100 years ago, that they were just shooting rockets and grenades and all that. No, now there's nuclear bombs, there's drones. You don't even have to leave your office. You could be in a restaurant and release a drone and blow up wherever you want to. So imagine that if every country has a nuclear bomb, they could control this with a switch or with their cell phone. Imagine you have nothing to do to control a war outbreak at this level. So people, think about like when you bash other countries and all that. I know the American nation, it's not the people. Remember, it was a different kind of country back then. It was the Europeans that caused all this chaos. And staying put, living in their own place, they went out and conquered indigenous people, indigenous lands, robbing, stealing, raping. And just, it's hard because people just don't want to forget that. People, still grieve every time something bad to them, they come back, they have flashback, they recycle what their parents told them. How a foreign country came and abused them, brought them here by force. And there's a lot of things. So, the people have to understand, and these countries have to understand that people want to live in peace. And you got to get your shit together and start causing trouble. The people are the ones that's going to suffer. These people in government don't care. Those people got enough money to get in a rocket and fly somewhere else, I guess, or stay in orbit for 10, 20 years, what the whole country is destroying itself. But it's bad, people. Everybody should understand each other, treat themselves right. But putting another country down, I think is already bad. I think we should been through enough that we should think differently and understand other people and other people's language, cultures, and all that, and stop acting like we still conquering. You conquer everything already. Everything that needs to be conquered has been conquered, and you turn this land in and out, and you already discover everything already. I don't know what's the rush of people trying to be in advance, so advanced. Sooner or later you're gonna give up. You're gonna be trying to advance and advance. You're gonna be so advanced. That's what you think about. People just don't live normal anymore. People just can't live their life in peace because all this government bureaucracy fighting with other countries and robbing them or doing contracts they know they cannot comply with or keep. It's time for America to take care of its own self and its people and stop worrying about other countries. It's usually everywhere you go, people just don't like people from the United States anymore. As you got an American flag or patch on you, they just don't like it. It's like a sign of war. You can't carry the American flag and go out to another country. It's just not gonna happen. Only way you can find an American flag is when you're in America itself. Going out to another country and flying a flag is considered you coming there for war, or you going there to claim something that is not yours. It's just not good. America's already got a bad name for generations, and it continues, and people just dying to see the day when America falls. They're gonna be rejoicing. It's gonna be like 4th of July to them. They're gonna be celebrating that the world's bully and every European in it is going to fall. And that's how people are seeing it, and people are waiting for that. They rejoice to see the day when the European nations all collapse. And people will rejoice when that happens. And with that, I'll let you go. I just want to speak my mind. But that's all I got to say. And with that, I'll let you go.